Hello, Flosstube. Look, I filmed 2 times in a row. So, what I've been doing in the last 3 weeks. 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 2.5. Because I was going to film Sunday night and then I didn't. So, first thing I did was FanX. Did I talk about stitching at the fair? I think I talked about stitching at the fair. Oh well, don't remember what it was. So, but the first thing on my list is FanX. So, I am a volunteer at FanX. And I was assigned to work with Daniel Logan this time. And I am now his auntie. So if you don't know who Daniel Logan is, he was young Boba Fett. He is now 37 years old. Same age as my kids. I am now his auntie and my kids are his cousins. I was working next to John Rice Davies. And I have this one signed by him, and I got a hug. And I have pictures of him hugging me. By the way, if you ever meet John Rice Davies and you have a selfie with him, he likes to tickle you or pinch you or just try and do something to make you make funny faces. Just do it back to him. And then the other one I got an autograph with was this one. And I also got to meet Don Bluth. And I'm going to move the camera because it was not centered. I had Don Bluth sign my Xanadu CD. Well, not CD, DVD. Because there is an animation sequence that he did in the middle. And I also told him about how wonderful it was to have Land Before Time and Fievel Goes West as babysitters for my kids. Although Robin Hood, which was one of the Disney films he worked on, was one of my favorites growing up. And I used to, we had it on Super 8. And then I got it on VHS for my kids. And I used to wake up at 1 in the morning where my daughter had gotten out of her bed and had stuck the VHS tape of Robin Hood in. And we would wake up to Robin Hood in the middle of the night. So that was FanX. I'm going to put those over here because we're done with them. And then, you remember I got this at the retreat and I told you I had this somewhere. I found it. Back in the days when I was using these as project bags. I don't think I've even opened it. I don't even know how far along I was with it. Oh my gosh. So yeah, so there's a line of stitches. Fun one. Oh my gosh, it's faded. It's got a fade line in it. Good thing that's on the back side though. Let's see. There's a second one. Oh, the fade line on this is going to be on the front. So yeah, that's how much I had done. I don't even know which way direction it goes. Oh, I guess this is the top because it has a rose in its hair. Oh my gosh, oh look, there's a fade line. I started these in college. Oh man, look at all that fade. Oh. Huh. Fold it so the fade's on the inside and see. So next year I'll probably throw those into the rotation. So, but I have the pattern now, so I can finish them. See, there's the pattern. I'll have to get them into a real project bag too. Yes, that was my stuff hitting. So, WIPs that I worked on in September. So I had 14 September WIPs, three finishes. So the ones I finished were the ink circles that I finished at retreat. My finished Ristipisto piece that I finished shortly after retreat. And then I Have a Lot to Say. Butter Believe It by Silver Creek. I finished that. Butter Believe It is done on a light blue Aida with stuff from Stash. So red grape, peacock, the lettering was in peacock. Well, peacock. There's a little bit of galvanized in it. The dark red was cherry wine. The light red was the red grape. The light blue was Crescent Colors Blueberry Tart. I have no idea what the yellow was, but it was whatever from my stash. The white was Whitewash. I think I used Union Blue somewhere in it. And then the brown was Rust. And we have some of the yellow stuck up in the top. So that was my conversion for it. There's what the called for were and what I did with them. And so I have a Silver Creek samplers to pass on. So in your comments to me, mention popcorn. And then if you want my threads with it, I ran out of the gold color. So the gold color here, I ran out of what I used for that because, like I said, it's from Stash. I barely had enough to finish these little dots. I think some of the spots. I think I actually ended up using Fool's Gold from Gentle Arts instead of the gold leaf that I was using before. So if you would like my remaining threads though with this, mention popcorn with butter. If you just want the pattern, just mention popcorn. If you want my threads, mention with butter. Okay, other things I worked on during the month. I put in a few stitches in my Hade, which is Secret Carousel. I did some work on Plumed Peacock, and I think, oh yeah, I started the square for the tin. There are the colors for it. If you haven't seen Plumed Peacock before, that's what it is. Now you get to listen to me put it away. Okay, I worked on Sister, let's see, I worked on Sister Witchy Mouse, which is this one. And I finished on the first day of Dominoes in October for Semi-Sane. I ended up finishing her. Actually, this was my first domino. This was my second one. So I finished between the work I did on her in September and the work in October. She is done Witchy Mouse still needs ears and nose and some back stitching and beads, and then she'll be done. This one, the beads are already in there. I still don't like those eyes. I hate French knots. That's what beads are for. Okay, I worked on Butter Believer. We already talked about that. I did some work on Queen of the Needle. So this is my Queen of the Needle box from Just Ann. And it's done. It will look like this. And I worked on Johnny Appleseed. Okay, so Johnny Appleseed is on, it's on chocolate mint is what the fabric is. Whose fabric is it? Oh, it's an old silk weaver, chocolate mint. And I'm using the Fibers to Die For. And this is a really, really heavy fabric. I mean, it's just, it feels almost like working on canvas. It's nasty. But I really wanted to do Johnny Appleseed once I saw it. It's a Monster Bubbles pattern. I'm holding it upside down. And it's the Disney song that went with Johnny Appleseed. Johnny Appleseed was one of my dad's favorite Disney cartoons when he was growing up. And he saw it in the theater, and he had the record of the book. And so this kind of reminds me of my dad, and I was going to stitch it for him. He just had his 81st birthday. So hopefully I will finish it for him someday. There is my color conversion from the colors that it called for to my Fibers to Die For. Okay, so I came home with 3 ribbons from the Utah State Fair. And in 3 separate categories. However, there was a mix-up because I dropped it. Two of the pieces got listed in the same category. And Magical Mystery Tour should not have been in the 6 to 14 stitches because it was 28 count over 1. It should have been in the category for 14 to 20 anyway, above 14 stitches per inch. And I don't know if it got judged in the right category or not, but I was competing against myself if it didn't. And they said, the judges said very beautiful stitching and wrote first on the front. And on the Just Nan piece, it says nice stitching, but you need to improve your back stitching. And all the back stitching on that was done in gold in Krynic. So anyway, don't know what happened there. Oh, one more FanX thing. Somebody gave me a Deadpool. I just thought that was cute. So, October. Plans for October. I am participating in Dominoes and semi-sane stitching. And I started with, so with Dominoes, you start with 20, 25, 100, or 50. And for each piece you stitch, you start with the first and then you add on. So I started, and you have to have a connection between your pieces. So I started with Witchy Mouse. I did 100 stitches on her. And then she is connected to Witchy Sister Mouse because they are sisters. And I did 200 stitches on her. I actually did 110 and 220. And then the third one, so yeah, these tags are so that I don't have to look in and see what's in it. So these are my Christmas mice. So this is my gingerbread fabric, and it's got a whole bunch of pieces on it. So the third domino, where I did 300 stitches, was the Just Nan fairy stocking, gingerbread fairy stocking. And I did 300 stitches on that, and I actually ended up doing 363 because I was so close to a finish, I just wanted to finish it. And then the fourth domino, the one that needs 400 stitches, is Lady Scarlet's Christmas, which is also a Christmas item by Just Nan. So I just said also a Christmas, okay. Witchy Stitcher Mouse was the first one. Miss Witchy Mouse was the second one. Actually, I did those backwards. I did Miss Witchy Mouse first. I did Witchy Sister Mouse second. They were both Halloween mice. And then Gingerbread Fairy Stocking, Christmas and Halloween are holidays in the latter half of the year. And then I did Lady Scarlet's Christmas, which is also a Christmas item with stockings. And then the next piece that I will put 500 stitches in is Sugar Plum Fairy Mouse, which is one of the mice on here. I'm not sure which one is Sugar Plum Fairy Mouse. I guess I should get it out. Sugar Plum Fairy Mouse. See, she goes in the fairy stocking. And then the next one is Gingerbread Jingle Mouse. Gingerbread Jingle Mouse, where are you? Gingerbread Jingle Mouse. And then the Gingerbread Reindeer Stocking, which is right there. And Gingerbread Reindeer Mouse, which again, one of the mice over here on this edge that I've started. And then Gingerbread Peace Mouse, which is also on here. I'm going to be using this piece of fabric quite a bit this month. And then after Gingerbread Peace Mouse, Gingerbread Peace Mouse is a mouse in a tin. And then we're going to go to Plumed Peacock Mouse, who also is a mouse in a tin, which you saw earlier. And then after that, the next one, this is turning into a WIP parade, isn't it? How did I put this away in the Nerge? Okay, so the next one is Beach Roses, which also uses the same turquoise thread as used in Plumed Peacock Mouse. And then after that is Spring Peepers, which I don't know which direction it goes, which is on the same piece of thread. And then after that is Glory Bee Mouse. That's the Glory Bee Mouse. And that's the one I don't have a connection for yet. I do not have a connection yet for Glory Bee Mouse. And then after Glory Bee Mouse, we have Butterfly Lace, which by that point I'm at 1,400 stitches. So there's, you know, I'm just going to be finishing these because there's not enough stitches to left between what's left. And then after that is Diamond Bouquet. Diamond Bouquet is the 15th piece, which would be 1,500 stitches plus whatever rolls over from ones that I haven't finished. So there's Diamond Bouquet. Wow, I'm halfway through that. I didn't realize I was halfway through that. Yeah, I'll be finishing that too. I'm going to finish a lot of my Just Nanuary starts this month. So Diamond Bouquet, and then after that is Christmas Sheep. That's what I have done of Christmas Sheep. I don't know which way it goes. It folds up to be a little needle book. See, it's the Christmas Sheep needle book. That's kind of a pocket, actually. Okay. After Christmas Sheep is back to Halloween and Frightmare House. That's the back side. There's the front side. And after Frightmare House, we have Lady Scarlet's Journey. And by that point, I should have run out of stitches, but you never know. You never know. So, after that would be New Year's Fairy. Which was charted like this by Mirabilia. But is being stitched like this by me. Somebody else had done the dark dress with it, and it just looked so pretty, so that's what I decided to do. This needs to go away because it's in the way. I'm going to have to clean up this room afterwards. I'm just tossing stuff everywhere. Okay. Let's keep going on the WIP parade. Next is Goblin's Market. I actually worked on this in September, so I got a little bit done. I think I worked on this border in September. And also in September that I forgot to tell you about is I worked on this one. This is Anniversary Roses. I was displaying this at the fair too, so it's more, right now it's set up more for show than to work on. But I only have 4 pages left to finish on that. Okay, we talked about Golden Market. Might as well keep going on the WIP parade here, folks. Okay, then we have Crafter's Paradise, which was a Main Street scene in Just Cross Stitch, and I finished one building. I'm working on the second one. One of the first pieces I ever had framed was called the Button Bender. It was also from Just Cross Stitch, so I figured I'd have this framed in a similar way and hang them on the wall together. Okay. Tonight We Ride. I'm still going in the order that I've got them set up for Dominoes, even though I don't have connections yet. If you guys can think of ways to connect these, there's Tonight We Ride. This was in last year's Autumn Lane Stitchery Halloween box. That's a Bestitched Me fabric. And they sent us Tombstone floss things. Floss drops. I got a lot of black in here. Here's Tonight We Ride. Mother's Arms. Okay, Mother's Arms is right here. This Mother's Arms is the very first memorabilia I ever saw, and I bought it. And it has taken me 25 years to start it. So this is where I am on Mother's Arms. Next is Alice in Wonderland. This is a bag that I got at the Stitching Sirens Retreat in San Antonio from Tanya. Needle and Bone is the name of her company. This is my Alice in Wonderland fabric. This is Under the Sea Fabrics Fiery Skies. This is the Cheshire Cat. I did work on Alice in Wonderland in September. It's the Bothy Threads design, and I am using PR 124 from Silks for You as my thread. 2 strands. And I have both. There are 2 pieces of fabric in here. Yeah. So I have both the well, that's still the Cheshire Cat. Here's the other piece. So this one is going to be the Mad Hatter's Tea Party. So. Yes, I haven't folded these. I've just kind of shoved them in the bag. Yes, the Cheshire Cat has a Cheshire Cat needle minder. Do you guys want me to keep going on this WIP parade? I can. Okay. Okay, that is. I gotta get that one out of the. Okay, I took this one to Wyoming with me, but then never got it out and worked on it. so it's still packed for travel. This is my Ladybird Fairy, and so far that the skin's kind of working for me. Yes, you heard me just throw a school frame. Okay. I hand dyed this fabric. Actually, I ice dyed it. This is Princess's du Mal. It's an 18 count Aida. No, this is not 18. This is a 14. This is a 14 count Aida that I ice dyed to do this with. I have not hit my stitch goal on that this year yet. So I set a stitch goal to hit at least one, at least 5% on each of my projects. Here's the Story Steed stitch along. I keep worrying that I'm not going to have enough fabric, but then I keep looking at it going, yes, yes I will. So it's going to be real close at the bottom, but I have hit the top, and there is at least an inch there. There will probably be an inch at the bottom. I'm going to take those out because they don't have a tip cover on them. Okay, that's one bin. So I have hit my stitch goal for the year on Sentinel. So Sentinel is not in the Dominoes. This is a Firewing Designs pattern. And I'm pretty sure I've finished pages 1, 2, and 3. All the different ways I've done floss over the years. Drops, bags. All my Just Nan pieces are actually, I've actually got them bobbined in a single thing. This is a purse kit that my grandmother started. When I got it, she had done the design but not the background. And right now what I'm working on is the border. That will be the edge between the front and the back. And then I was going to do initials on this, and I've been kind of graphing them out a little. Then I've got the hardware and the lining. So there's the lining of the purse. And see that black band I was doing, that's the outer edge there. So what's fun is this is a Busilla kit. There's the purse. And the thing is that I think the reason my grandmother never finished this was I think she lost the back. She lost one of the bits for the purse, and I just got some canvas with the same count to make it up. So that is technically my oldest WIP. If we want oldest, I started this in high school. That's as far as I got on it. I try and put a few stitches in it every year, just so that I make some progress on it. That's what the pattern will look like when it's done. It is not the only one that is that old. The other one I started in high school. You know, I'm actually kind of scared to do the mane on that, just because I don't remember how to do the crewel stitches. So I've been working on the flowers when I pull it out. That's what that one looks like. Okay, then we have Noah's Sub, also in a needle and bone bag by Tanya. I love her zip pulls. They're so easy to work with. Okay, come here. Come on out. So Noah's Sub was on my list of ones to finish this year. I don't know if I'm going to get there, but I honestly can't see if you're seeing this. That's all I have left to do, though. Just that bit of sky and the stuff that's in the sky. And for some reason, that sky has been so much harder to count than all the stuff in the ocean. For the longest time, you could not find a pattern for Noah's Sub. It was out of print. And then for a while, it was like everywhere. And then people realized how large it is to work on. I haven't seen it much anymore. I have completed my goal for the year on this one. This is my Shepherd's Bush Christmas. That is 4 out of 8. I have not started the other 4. I've just started these 4. But I have done my 8% for this year. So I will probably not touch it again this year. Kingdom of Books. I actually have this, I figured out how to get this one in pages on PK. So I'm working on this one on Pattern Keeper. And I'm almost completed with this page on Pattern Keeper. Only a few more left. Normally I like keeping my whips at about 36, but this year was just crazy. Oh, and I won't be showing you the Teresa Wentzlers. They're down on the floor stands. So this is Dragon Carousel and where I am on it. This is a Patricia Allison. That's what it'll look like when it's done. It has a lot of Krennic in it. And almost as much confetti as a Teresa Wentzler. Okay, what are we at? Ha! We're down to the last 3. Okay, so this is a travel project. This is 2 Gray Hills. I picked it up when I was visiting a, where was I? I think I was at a state park in Nevada. It's from the Rugs of the Southwest collection. They're available at national parks. And I usually leave that in my purse so that I can always bring cross stitch. Oh, okay, this is Summer Queen. Summer Queen. I'll put a picture of Summer Queen at the end. I've buried myself in here and I can't get to it. It's also on a lap stamp, so. And then this is Class Schedule by Armada Designs. And no, it is not a Harry Potter piece. She's married to a patent attorney. It is a class schedule. So, but I've thrown a few things in addition. Everybody I know has added things into this, but I threw some beads in the potions, in the cauldron. And I'll probably end up finishing at least 1 classroom before the end of the year. So. Is that everything? Oh. One more Just Nan. This is as far as I got on my summer needle roll. That looks so pink. This is a purple fabric. That looks so pink on the screen though. It is definitely purple though. It is very, very purple. Do I know what fabric I'm working on? I'm sorry, I can't tell you what fabric it is. Maybe I can. Nope, that's someone else's roll. I've been trying to do better about putting the fabric tags in, but sometimes I forget. I don't think I did with this one, but it's very much a purple. Okay, that is about as much as a WipParade as you're going to get. And even then, I'm not sure I got through everything. Well, I know I didn't because you didn't see spring, summer, fall, carousel, fortunate traveler. So my 5 Teresa Wentzlers, they're all downstairs on floor stands. So I go into that room for Wentzler Wednesday, but they're not up here. And then Summer Queen is on the floor over there, and I'm kind of buried behind everything here. We talked about giving away popcorn. Okay, so that's all the stitchy stuff. So, this week in True Crime, or since the last time we talked in True Crime, more and more is coming out about Ruby Franke and Jodi Hildebrand. And a lot of the stuff that's coming out about Jodi Hildebrand is from men whose marriages she destroyed. It's coming out that she is just a firm believer that if you're male, you're into porn. And if you say you're not into porn, then you're just in denial. And you know what? Some guys don't look at porn. Very few, but some guys don't look at porn. I mean, she had some 13-year-old kid who'd never even seen porn before, convinced that he was a porn addict. He was into playing games on his phone, and his parents were upset that he had a phone because they didn't want him having technology. So she messed up his life. They were supposed to have the arraignment on September 21st, but so far neither Jody nor Ruby have been arraigned. And the arraignment is supposed to take place sometime after October 5th. And I haven't heard of a rescheduled date, but they're all over Court TV, so they'll be there. So, as I mentioned last time, Anastasia Stevens was killed. Her and her parents and her 3 dogs were killed by her husband, Jeremy Bailey. He was supposed to be arraigned in August, but I have not been able to find anything else out on him. It's like he was arrested and nobody said another word after that. I haven't seen anything in the papers locally. I haven't seen anything in the newsroom. I did, however, find out that if I go down to the courthouse, I can actually pull up his records. I could pull up the court records under Freedom of Information. I don't know if I want to pay $25 to see what happened to him, but I may just go down and see what is available on the court site. So Corey Richens, she's the one that supposedly killed her husband by giving him a fentanyl-laced Moscow Mule. She has now been accused of witness tampering because there were letters found in her cell basically instructing her mother how to teach her brother on what he was going to say, and that trying to prove that her husband got the fentanyl in Mexico, and that he was a major drug user, and although everybody else that knows him is like, no. In fact, they were surprised that he drank the Moscow Mule. So Corey's defense is, no, I'm an author. That wasn't witness tampering. That was just drafts for a book I'm writing. She had a ghostwriter on the children's book. So I am not even 100% sure that she is a writer at all. So this is going to be interesting seeing how this plays out. And the latest gossip in true crime here in Utah. Tim Ballard, the former CEO of Underground Railroad, has been accused of sexual harassment of his employees. And he's been saying, no, it was part of the undercover operations to rescue children. And, okay, usually the dominant religion around here does not issue statements about businesses or news stories or things that are going on. They have actually issued a letter stating that Tim Ballard is in no way related to Russell M. Ballard, who is a prominent leader in the church. And if anybody tells you that you should give money because Tim Ballard is doing Russell Ballard's work, run. Grab your wallet and run. And basically, if you set yourself up as a moral authority, you need to live what you're talking. And apparently, Tim Ballard was not. The sexual harassment claims that he's being accused of is that he would take women that were not his wife on these undercover sting operations, and he would, in order to prove they were man and wife, they would need to sleep in the same bed, they would need to shower together. And some of these women were like, no, this is not what I signed up for. And basically, it's just, he's out. You can find plenty of videos out there of him trying to defend himself, but it'll be interesting to see if these 7 women that are alleging sexual harassment do actually go forward with their lawsuit. There was a statement today from one of their attorneys saying that they are preparing the paperwork to file. So that is the true crime gossip for this week. Oh, and you're seeing things out on Reddit that Lori Vallow has new attorneys. Yeah, Lori Vallow Daybell has new attorneys because now that she's been sentenced, Idaho doesn't pay for her general public defender anymore. She now gets appellate attorneys. Again, public defenders. But they're paid on a different pay scale from the general ones. And also, if you're going to allege in your appeals that your counsel was not competent, then you need to have different attorneys doing that for you. So it's no big deal that Lori Vallow Daybell has new appellate attorneys. Not a big deal. I still want to know who her Arizona attorneys are going to be and how that extradition's going. I haven't heard much on that. But that's all the local gossip. See y'all next time back here on FlossTube.